Hello friends, how are you? Hope you are doing well. Let us start our new topic called ESG benchmarking. In this ESG benchmarking, what we are going to discuss here, uh, in the ESG benchmarking, organizations are involving the comparison of ESG performance matrices against industry peers or established standards. Here is an example of the scenario of how ESG benchmarking might be approached. Okay, we will discuss that how the benchmarking will be conducted. So example is ESG benchmarking in the technology sector. The objective of this is benchmark company, let's say XYZ, a leading technology company, against industry peers on key ESG matrices to identify the strengths, okay, then areas for improvement and opportunities for alignment with the best practices. So this is the key objective of this benchmarking practice. Then what is the step by step approach? We will see one by one what are the steps involved in the ESG benchmarking. We see key ESG matrices. First of all, identify the key ESG matrices. So select relevant ESG criteria based on industry standards, for an example GRI, SESB, and also based on the stakeholders' expectations. So matrix could include environmental, social, governance related materiality topics actually, or the different dimensions related issues. And then next is selecting the peer group. In this we can discuss identification of the comparable companies within the technology sector based on size, geographical location and business model. So peers may include other tech giants, mid-sized firms or emerging startups also. Then next is gathering the data. We need to collect ESG performance data from company XYZ and its identified peers. So sources of data may include the ESG reports of those companies, or we can say sustainability reports, annual reports, corporate websites and third-party database. Then normalize the data. We need to normalize ESG data to ensure comparability across the companies, adjust for differences in company size, industry nuances and geographic factors that may impact performance metrics. The next comes perform comparative studies or comparative analysis. So it will be by two ways: quantitative comparison and qualitative comparison. So in quantitative we need to compare specific ESG matrices. For an example, like say carbon emissions per revenue, carbon intensity basically, and gender diversity ratios between company XYZ and its peers. Then qualitative assessments, we need to evaluate qualitative aspects such as ESG strategy, governance practices, and also very importantly the stakeholder engagement approaches. The next comes identification of the performance groups. Identify key areas where company XYZ lags behind peers or industry benchmarks. So pinpoint strengths and that can be leveraged as a competitive advantage. Then next is set improvement targets. So we need to establish realistic ESG improvement targets based on the benchmarking results, and also we need to prioritize the actions to address identified gaps and enhance overall ESG performance of ESG. Okay, then next comes develop the action plan. We need to develop an action plan outlining steps to achieve ESG targets, including resource allocation, also timeline and the responsible stakeholders. Next is monitor and report the progress. So implement a monitoring mechanism to track progress against ESG targets. Also regularly report the updates to all the stakeholders, demonstrating commitment to transparency and also accountability. Okay, then next comes the potential outcomes of this process of ESG benchmarking. Here we discuss certain outcomes like enhanced stakeholders confidence. So we demonstrate proactive management of ESG risk and opportunities, enhancing investors and stakeholder trust, then competitive advantage in the market, identify opportunities to differentiate company XYZ through superior ESG performance, attracting socially responsible investors and customers. Then next outcome is risk mitigation. So proactively addressing ESG related risks, reducing potential regulatory, operational and also reputational risks actually. So after that we can say we create long-term value. So this company XYZ as a sustainable leader contributing to long-term value creation for stakeholders, employees and also to communities. Okay, so by conducting ESG benchmarking, by following all these steps, all these 9 steps basically, company XYZ can gain valuable insights into ESG performance related to peers, driving continuous improvement and align with evolving stakeholders' expectations for sustainable and responsible business practices in the technology sector. So this is what the example we have discussed. Thank you very much friends. Let us start our new topic now.